Why did you write a book about poets?
They get molested, they are abused, they are violated. Even from babies, we have seen video clips and all that from nannies and stuff.
Yeah.
So then talking about going to stay with people, they also have some encounters that they cannot say out. There are a lot of awareness for the girls, but the boys, we barely hear anybody talking about how to groom them, nurture them, and all that. Their parents expect that, okay, the teachers will do the work or the church will do the work. But we realize that parenting these days is beyond the teacher, is beyond the, the church.
How do we do better now? I mean, we are the parents now.
Okay.
So what do we do differently?
First and foremost, I'll talk about.
Our next guest is a woman on a mission, and that mission is the boy child. She is the founder of Boys Diary NG, a platform dedicated entirely to nurturing and empowering young boys into well-rounded men, and the author of Diary of the Boy Child. With a background in industrial relations from Lagos State University, a mini MBA from the Tekidia Institute in Boston, and over a decade of experience in financial and fintech industries, she brings both passion and expertise to one of the most important conversations of our time. Please welcome with me Olatoro Olorunnowo.
Growing with grace. Growing with grace. Growing with grace. We rise together.
Miss Olatoro.
Yes, Miss
Olorunnowo.
Yeah.
Yes. What does the name stand for?
Okay. God as honor. Yeah. Coming from Oguno, we know, the idolatry and all those stuffs, but having received Christ into our lives, it's now changed to Olorunnowo, meaning God as honor. Before it's Ogun and honor. So yeah.
So, why did you write a book about poets?
I would say over 3-4 years ago. Way back in still in access, I got an idea to write. But because of time, I'll write a little, I'll drop. And I even had to argue in my spirit, like, what's my business with the boys? Because people will criticize and say, you're a female. What business do you have with the boys and all that? But going by the inspiration I got, like, a lot of damages are going on in our society that we don't have control about. A lot of parents have lost control on their children compared to the times when we were raised. You're disciplined, you follow instructions and all that. But right now, what we have is social media age, and that's whatever they see on the internet is what they consume. And we've come to realize that we protect the girls more. There are a lot of awareness for the girls, but the boys, we barely hear anybody talking about how to groom them, nurture them, and all that. Their parents expect that, okay, the teachers will do the work or the church will do the work. But we realize that parenting these days is beyond the teacher, is beyond the the church. Because even the church now wants to close on time. They don't have that depth. Talk less of the school, they leave a lot of assignments for them to just, there's no interface of saying, okay, sitting with the children and, putting, some sense into them. Let me just put it that way. And these girls that we keep protecting are being damaged by the boys. You find a lot of menace out there. And these are the people that will go into fathers. They will go into bank managers. They will go into your boss at work.
Yeah.
So much harassment out there.
Yeah. So I sorry to cut you short. I'm aware of the conversations that's going around boys, that it's a thing now. On social media, I see conversations with parents on different platforms. We need to raise our boys better. We need to do well, especially when there's one big issue happening there. How did you get to the point where you thought that I need to write a book about this?
Okay. Do I say it's a revelation or an inspiration? Like, see this, see that, because there are scenarios I can point to.
Yeah.
Talk about the banking system. A lot of menace when it comes to sexual perversion, harassment, and all sort of abuse. And these are people you look up to, like your father. I won't call them my father, but because of their higher elderly, they should know better, but they've lost it. I'm sorry. And these are people we have in our management boards and all that. These are people that take decisions on you as an employee, and for the fact that you are not subjected to their conditions and offers, probably you don't get promoted, or probably you get stuck on a particular level for so many years, and you're wondering, is it because I'm not doing what everybody's doing? But if those men, because they are somebody's father, they're somebody's husband, if they know better, they won't think about molesting any employee. And there I will talk about Paystack, something that happened in Paystack recently, or say like last year thereabout, although it's under control, but I don't know where the judgment ends. The guy came on Twitter. Yeah, he got a grant, start Paystack and all that. And he puts on Twitter how much he has been molesting his employees, female employees.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be a founder.
of
So,
an organization.
the society expects more from him, but he has belittled himself by bringing himself so low to do all of that. And he's not even shy about it. He talks about it and talks about all that he
And
does.
this is obviously from how he grew up.
Yeah.
So
What he has been exposed to.
he has been exposed to. So I want to speak to that.
Okay.
We have a lot of, it's easy for us to talk about sexual abuse for women. It happens all the time. But we also know that these boys, they get sexually abused
Yes.
at a tender age.
Okay.
And I've seen different conversations where, boys, I think they are proud to say, my auntie disvirgined me.
Some are not proud.
Okay.
Because I have a friend in the UK. And when this book came out, he told me about his story. It's even painful that I couldn't add the story into the book before he talked about it. Okay, I don't want to mention his name anyway, but it's from a Lagos family that they're wealthy. The parents left them with the housemates. So it was like the first encounter I had was with the housemaid. He didn't understand anything. It was naive. But something you do, one time, 2 times like that, it's now become something you do regularly. Okay, going to school, coming out of school and all that, you can see that he has 2 children outside wedlock because he has lost control on himself. He feels that's what should be done. Every other part of his life is proper, but he does not have you understand, that part of his life is being affected because
Who do we blame?
the parents, I would say, because if they were available for him to be speaking with and saying, okay, Auntie Betty did this to me, or there's an experience I had with Auntie Betty, let me just put a name to it. Definitely the parents will call that lady to order and probably chase her away, then correct the boy before he became an adult. Now, to a full-grown man, that he cannot do without stuffs like that.
So, yeah, I agree that parents are meant to protect their children.
Yeah.
But, not boys. Also, aunties and uncles are supposed to protect as well.
Yeah.
So while we are blaming parents, so all those uncles and aunties that actually, go out of their way to sexually assault the young boys and the young girls, they are also to be blamed.
Yeah, they are, because going to Oprah Winfrey's story, She mentioned something like that, that our uncle defied her and all
Yeah.
that. She reported it to the parents, and they were like, shh, nobody should hear this from you. And same way we have it now, even in our society, we have a lot of nannies, aunties, and uncles defiling our young
Yeah.
ones. Even for the male child that you say, nobody will touch this one. If you get to, okay, now we have cameras being fixed in some homes.
Yeah.
So the parents get to see it from the video.
Yeah,
what
because they can't
do.
be there 247.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I go from such environment
Yeah.
wherein my parents find they were bankers too. They were not available like that. You see
Yeah.
them very early in the morning and late at night. Then maybe weekends.
Yeah.
So we grew up with her aunts, and sometimes when they are on leave, they are available like for the entire month. So, but the discipline while they are away is top notch. Yeah, I give it to God and my parents. I'm proud of them, and I would raise my children the same way, because when you say after you're done with, you don't hang out like children say. I'm sleeping over.
No,
It's trained to my ears.
we have a
these
lot of
days.
sleepovers these days.
What are they sleeping over for? What do they do?
I think unconsciously we used to do sleepovers during that time. Unconscious, like we didn't call it sleepover.
Okay.
It would just be you are visiting an uncle, and then your mom knows
Whatever
you're
you don't do during the day,
Don't do it
under
at
my
night.
dad's, no street, you can't do it. You can't do next day. For what? He just believes that going to another other point family, you adopt another culture
Yeah.
that we don't have.
So you'd rather in your
it
house.
curtail where you go to,
Yeah.
who you speak to. Even there are some of our friends that comes home, he will tell you bring your friends, and by the time he's done school, then probably investigating their family line and all that, he will tell you who he approves as your friend and who he's going to discard. This person, I don't want to see this person. As I am, he approved only 2 girls from me.
He did.
Yes, for a reason. So until today, those are those I can call my bosom friend, except the ones I've built at work, few anyway. But it makes you see reasons why you can't keep so much friends. If they are not adding value, let them go.
That's amazing.
Grace, growing with grace, growing with grace, we rise together.
So let's talk about your book, which I find very interesting.
Thank you.
There was a part of the book where you addressed there's a letter to my mother's daughter-in-law. I read through, I'm like, nice. So I get the concept. So I found that letter very interesting. What actually led you to it?
Okay, you get to see mothers saying, go get yourself a wife, this, that, somebody to just clean this house, somebody to, cook for you and, wash your clothes. The assumption is women are supposed to be the one doing all these chores. On a normal day, if you raise your boy child well, he will be a supportive husband.
Yeah.
And but that's not what we have, except for a few families that have done it so well. I know of some families that would say, okay, they have like a male and few females. In such families, you realize that the boy child was raised like the girls. You do everything. In my family too, we do everything. My parents have 3 boys, 3 girls. There's nobody that cannot cook. We have a timetable. So when it's your turn, you are not saying I'm gonna, but no, you do everything. And if you look at what is happening now, going to people that that are in diaspora, Africans, folks, the men are finding it difficult to keep up.
adapt.
The next thing they want to break up. The one thing they want to divorce because they cannot do chores. They are not wired that way. They are wired in a way that they want to cross their legs, read newspaper. the girls will bring the food or their mom will bring the food, do their laundry and all that.
And then they make the money and bring it back home.
But now we're in a society where the women also we
making
are all
money.
hustling. We do the work, So you will not now expect that same woman that you're on the same shift or different shifts to now still do every damn thing. That's wickedness.
Yeah.
But because they don't know better, they see it like the woman is proud or something. So it has affected so many homes just because the men feel they can't drop their ego.
So your letter is saying to your daughter's mother-in-law,
Yeah,
please
before
train
you come
your
and pick my
child
daughter,
well
just do your
before he
homework.
comes to marry my
Yeah,
daughter.
do your homework.
I actually love it. So I mean, we've spent so many years, like you said, pouring this home training and everything into the girl child. So and then they've grown up and they've gotten married.
Yeah.
How do we do better now? I mean, we are the parents now. So what do we do differently?
Okay. First and foremost, I'll talk about, or I'll pick communication. Personally, I love communication because whatever you are not clear about, whatever you don't have clarity about, it doesn't really sink. So what you talk about becomes a part of that person.
Yeah.
So communicating with your children goes a long way. Don't just write instruction on paper and expect them to read. I'll talk about my sister's daughter. Okay, she knows very well the mom loves her. Aside just writing it on paper, she used to tell her to speak to her that you tell me you love me. That affirmation goes a long way. So sometimes what you keep talking about sticks. Okay, I'll talk about my parents, most especially my dad. He leaves instruction and he still writes the instruction and he still talks about the instruction when he gets back. So you would have to pick one, probably from the one that has been written, or the one that you hear in passing, or the one that he now had to see to you one-on-one. Because we do, no matter how busy he is, no matter when he returns back, he has one-on-one with all the 6 of us.
Every day?
Yeah, he does that. I don't know where he got his superpower from. He does that. So, and he has his own personal assignment for us. So, and aside the school home that we have, he still has his own for us, and we'll do a summary for him, like on a weekly basis. So come and tell me how you want to run away from him. He keeps talking to us.
Yeah.
So, and he tells you why and what you should do, and why the implication or the complications after your decision. He's been here, or he's been in this world, he's experienced some certain things, and going by his experience, he knows what and what can happen to you as a young child or as a growing, adult. So by the time he tells you those things, by the time you probably go out there, you will get to see that this man mentioned this thing. Mom said this. It will click.
Yeah.
Because they've been talking to you about it. So first and foremost, communication matters. Yeah, our parents are busy, or the parents now, majority are doing even remote or hybrid. So in a way, you should visit your children's you should visit your children's school too. Get to know what they do. Get to know what triggers them. Get to know why they behave the way they do. Because aside your own training, they will pick up their own habits from school.
From where they are.
Yeah, from what they're exposed to. If you don't go to their school, you won't know what they're saying or what they're exposed to. The teacher will just say, he's a brilliant child, excellent, this, that. But you need to know the personality of your children.
So in our own time, we had that man of culture. I mean, I'm very proud of the parents nowadays that I'm seeing. When there are conversations I'm also very proud of seeing on social media. Conversations where everybody's saying, oh, the men need to speak up. I mean, Ebuka has a podcast about, it calls it men mentality, where, men are talking about speaking up and, being a man. It doesn't mean that you don't have emotions. That man of culture, who even came up with the idea that men are not supposed to be emotional?
Okay, I'll go by saying, there's this thing we'll say, society doesn't want this, society doesn't want this, and all that. I sat down There are times you sit by yourself thinking about certain things, trying to figure out some things. And I ask myself, who is society? Can society appear before us in a suit?
And say, my name is society.
There's nobody, there's nothing like society. We have just tried to, put an image to it. And that's why a lot of people have been derailed, because they want to please the society. There's nothing like society. It's screwed in my head. Nothing like society. So don't give them that power that they don't have. And our generation or past generations have been saying the men should not cry, you should toughen up and all of that. They are human.
This generation is not accepting that.
Yeah, because a lot of beautiful souls have died because they cannot speak up. They cannot cry. It's okay to cry. As a boy child, cry. You have blood running through your veins. You feel pain. You should say the way it is. And that's one thing my dad would say. What is the issue? What's biting you up or what's eating you up? Speak out. Just say it. Let's trash it. Yeah.
So some of these boys, they watch their dads. And they watch daddy. Yeah, daddy would not, react to certain things. Maybe mommy is crying, but you see daddy on one corner. Maybe it's paining, you can see his hurt, but he would not cry. He would not show emotions. And these boys just pick this.
Because that's what they get to see. But in a case where you have the boys to men speaking, that's the daddy and the son talking to one
Together.
another, having proper communication, definitely they would have shared some pain. I have a friend that talks to his children about how he has boys, and he talks to them about what he encountered at certain age of his life, so that they can pick it that, hey, let no one bully you. Just ensure that the person is the one that hits you first. Then you do your own back. Don't, at that point now, don't fizzle out for anybody. Because when the authority comes and say what happened, they will look at who hits who first. But in the bit of some generations backward, they will say, no, don't hit back. But now, a lot of, for instance, bringing up the story of Oromoni, he's late now. The young boy of, I think, is it Bowen or something? Not Bowen.
Oh, yeah. I
That
think
private
it was,
school
Yeah, it was.
in Lekki.
What's the school? Yeah.
He kept telling his parents that, okay, I need to leave this school. They keep bullying me and all that. The parents were like, your brothers,
They finished.
they finish from here. Your elderly ones finish from here. You two finish from here. No, you should talk to him. Hear him out. He's going through pains. And if you can listen to him, follow him to the school, get to know what is happening. Who are those harassing your boy? You should know. Not that you allow him bottle the pain. At the end of the day, they poisoned him. He died. The mother too, out of the trauma, she died. So what's now the essence of having a child? If you will not, watch them grow into, full adults. So the story of that boy is so painful that it's from a parents that didn't really listen. Because it does not matter whether your other siblings finish from this school. What is this particular one going through? Every pain is not the same thing. And the threshold we all have for pain, it differs. I can bottle up some things. Okay, I grew up a very quiet person. I'm just beginning to, open up and talk. But my other siblings, they were not like that. They were more outspoken than I am. But everybody has different nature. So don't condemn this one or silence this one because the older siblings were not complaining. Let's have a one-on-one talk with our children. It goes a long way.
Implore you to join us by subscribing to all our social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and join us to have this conversation.
Growing with grace, growing with
So you founded a platform, Boys Diary. What do you do there? I know of course, your activity are geared towards training the boy child, but what kind of activities do you actually carry out on that platform?
Okay. We have some plans in the book. How do I put it now? For the book, not just to sell the book, but to, aside doing a book tour, reaching out to the unreached, we have in mind to do conferences or seminars, probably quarterly, depending on
Who
how.
will be the target audience for this?
We will do that of the parents and something like a book. I mean, sorry,
Boot camp.
boot camp for the boys. Thank
Okay.
you. So when they are going for their summer, maybe we'll hijack them for a day or two, just to pass our message. But it's a gospel that we need to keep pushing out.
Yeah.
Because the more you talk about it, the more they can stop whatever they are consuming from social media. Because I'll just say this. I saw a clip online and I was sad because these boys should be between 15, 17, 18. They're now going to the streams to make vows, sacrifices because they want to have money.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I can send the clip to you. And when I saw it, I was sad. Like, what was I doing at age 15, 16, 17?
Why would a 15-year-old boy be looking for money?
And the society has pushed a lot of, wealth in our faces.
Yeah.
Both clean and unclean funds are out there. So, and for the fact that that's what they see, they now club. So they see how money is being spent. They see the flashy cars that young ones are now coming out with. They see how they throw parties and all that. They see our politicians as well. So they just feel that if I don't have money in this world, what am I doing in school? They even pay lecturers and don't pay.
But the parents are seeing if your child is buying things that you did not buy for them, that should call for your attention.
Some parents don't have. I grew up from a family where if anybody's pencil, any strange pencil, as little as pencil or eraser, is found in your bag, you get the beating of your life. So there was an understanding of nobody's, property comes near yours. Yours is yours. Contentment. A lot of people don't have contentment these days. They believe you just have to probably defraud someone or embezzle money or do stuff or do ritual. There's this story that I read online, although my office people were gisting about it, and I'm like, who is this boy? And I'm like, he did the ritual less than 3 years or so when he was 17.
17.
And at 21, he couldn't meet up with the demands and eventually died. His mother had out of the money and some folks. So I looked at the storyline and I'm like, who told this boy that he cannot amount to anything? That led him into saying that he needs to see an herbalist to
make money.
make it faster for him so that he can have money.
I think poverty is one of the biggest problems that we have in
poverty, we keep saying poverty, yes, but regardless, you should just do it right, because you will be selling your soul to the devil. Joining back gangs today is not, do we say it's poverty?
Of course, once.
Because the implications that comes thereafter is either you get taken by the police and all that, you end up in at the end of the day. So are you enjoying life? Even the clubs they go to is noise in your head. How do you keep up?
We're having fun.
Our own phone was not that.
No, it's awesome.
So something that is damaging your mental health, you don't need it.
So I'll go back to when you spoke about your dad choosing your friends.
Yeah.
Because now you're speaking to joining bad gang. How can parents actually checkmate their teenagers to ensure that they are not being corrupted by bad friendship?
Okay. It starts by you visiting their school.
Okay.
Out of conversation, you would have mentioned the people you're close to in school.
Yeah.
That happens. And one thing my dad does, he would tell you to bring them home. Let your friends come around. We didn't know why. We just felt maybe they come and play with us. But in the course of saying that, okay, you have played games or maybe chess or something, he will appear before your table and be like, "You, my own child, you will excuse me. I want to have a conversation with your friend." But I know that all majority of those that came around, by the time they are done with that conversation, they don't come back to our houses, our house, because they are like, "That your dad is too tough, is this that?" But like, seriously, I realized that it saved me from a lot of shit.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
So you
because
didn't actually have a boyfriend.
you cannot have, there's this fear
So
you
you
have.
cannot have.
You even talking, you can talk, but there are lengths to which you have conversations with them. You can't be found in a corner. It's like you're dead.
Can't be found under the.
No. Man, go through all those
No,
things.
it's
You
not possible.
explain. You can't. No, now. My dad is too smart. Like, I don't know how he does it. Like, I don't know. If you are caught, you just know that it is rough.
So your dad did all this for you, and I know you love him so much for it.
Yeah,
Do you think he paid equal attention to your brother?
yes, but one thing I would say, some teenagers are stubborn. You can beat, you can chastise, you can discipline and all that, but they will later realize.
Okay. So your brother was more stubborn.
I don't want to. They were tough growing up, but
Because
now I think they
what
know
what I'm
better.
trying to, what I want us to, maybe try to discuss is the fact that no, not perfection, but how much fathers actually love their daughters so much. They pay so much attention to their daughters. I can't relate because I'm not a man. But do you think that they should actually maybe give equal attention to the men? The way he was checkmating you, ensuring that you're not.
Not just me, my other siblings too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he paid equal attention to you and your siblings, including your brothers. Okay. Do you have family members living with you?
We have family members. He has adopted children, orphans, because he brings children home.
Okay.
Fine, they might not sleep in, but at least they
You
were
know
part
them.
of our weekends in a way. Yeah.
So do you think that fathers should do that? They should actually pay equal attention.
Yeah, I think yes. I would say yes, because the conversations you don't have now with them, they will get it outside. The questions you don't answer now, they will get an answer outside.
And I think that fathers should do more of that with the men, because the boy child is the one that is emulating you as a father.
Yes, because it picks whatever is
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah. So your character, it works for him. He's going to watch you. The way you checkmate him as well is going to maybe put him in a position where he says, "I can't do this thing. My father doesn't stand for it." And when he grows up, that, like you said earlier on, whatever you instill into them as a child,
It stays with them.
exactly. So when he grows up now and is raising his own children, he will also remember, because if his father does not pay attention to him as a child, when he grows up, so you see in families, a boy will come to visit a girl and the parents will go haywire. But a girl will come to visit a boy, they'll say, "Oh, come in, he's inside." So I feel like while we're
Too
raising,
tough on the girls than the guys. Same discipline for both is required, because out there they face the same thing. They're exposed to the same thing. Boys get raped too. They get molested, they are abused, they are violated. Even from babies, we have seen video clips and all that from nannies and stuff. So then, talking about going to stay with people, they also have some encounters that they cannot say out. Then mingling with neighbors, you need to know. You already know as a parent who your neighbors are. So you should give your child a bit of constraint not to go to certain homes. Yeah. So if you cannot verify a particular family, then don't let them mingle. Okay, my friend told me a story. They live in the US. From the church setting, because that was the family that brought them in, when they first got to the US. And in the assumption that this is a pastor and we are in a pastor's family house, not knowing that the first son is a gay at 13. The father
And
is
the
a pastor,
Nigerian
right?
family.
Yeah, Nigerian family that located abroad. They've lived there for some time. So the girls are lesbians.
Election.
There are two.
Good.
So bringing his own family in there, the assumption is, oh, it's a Christian family. They are the one that pastors our church and all that. But the character in that home started, it's been replicated into their own children, because it was like they took their son, the son was ill, they took him to the hospital, and the doctor was like, who has been touching the son, that he has I don't know what they call this. Later when they checked, they now realized that the gay has been abusing that little boy.
So the boy has been abusing the little boy that went to that.
So that's why I'm like, before you mingle with families or neighbor or wherever you're taking your children to, checkmate who their parents are. What character do they have? Who are their so-called children? Can my children mingle with these ones?
Yeah.
So in the course of time, they have to look for a way to, excuse themselves from the family. And thereafter, we learned that the son relocated to another country, because when the father now went to find out that truly is my son gay, he was weeping because he found the friends in school that they were doing together. And the boy at 13 had a mate in another country. Living in the US is like you're in the wild, in the wild forest.
Wow. Okay. Your book,
Okay.
when is it out? Where can they get it?
Okay, it's on Seller
Okay.
and Ninja Books. For Amazon, we are not going there for now for certain reasons. Okay. You can get it online. You can get it through me. That's another thing I can say. Yeah. We're still pushing it out bit by bit.
So you let us know when you're pushing it out as well, so that
It's out actually.
Okay.
But how do I put it now? Still in talks with Latana Books and Rovinites.
Okay.
They were like, they need to push out. Yeah, they need to push out what they have in their stock.
Okay. Well, I wish everybody can get a copy. Every parent can get a copy. It's quite an interesting read. Yeah, I really enjoyed reading it. So, I mean, before we round up, I'd like for you to tell somebody, a teenager, a parent out there, what is inside that book that they need to see and what that book can do for them.
Talking to parents right now, I would say parents should communicate more with their children, because I will not say we've seen it all. Experiences will repeat itself. But in order for your child not to come up with a bad experience, you have to stand in gap. What you went through or what you had experienced as a parent, negatively, let not your child experience it, because we're in a world where children are exposed to everything from the baby stage. You will think they're just watching cartoon. If you sit with the cartoon they watch, you realize that a lot of things have been infused into the cartoons that children now watch, and you realize that these are not things they should be exposed to at that age. But we found out that some parents don't bother. They just feel it's just cartoon. But in that cartoon, that child is already picking up some wrong, vices, and which you might not know. You just be wondering, how did you get to know that? Why are you doing this? Where did you adopt that from? And all that. So giving your children the necessary attention, the way you give the girls, we need to give the boys the same attention, equal attention right now, because they are in the same world. They face the same, they're exposed to the same, environment. So, and if you want your sons to be better adults, definitely the work starts now. Then talking to a teenager, yes, your parents can say, don't do this. You can always ask questions. Why you shouldn't do this? What are the implications or the complications? They will be free to share with you why you shouldn't do certain things. It's just for the future, because you own your future. if your future gets damaged now, definitely you don't have a future to look up to. If you get into social vices now, you will not enjoy your so-called future, because these days we have a lot of teenagers getting into, terrible gangs. Aside those that are into Yahoo, those that are into rituals, those that are into dating older men when it comes to being gay for money, for cars, for houses in Lekki. That's not your future. You have something better that God has promised you. Your destiny is beautiful. So listen to your parents and ensure you do it right. Because if you save yourself from this menace, you have saved your generation. And you'll be blessed for it. We all cry, Abraham's blessings are mine. If Abraham had done something naughty, will not be alive to be saying, will not be here to be saying Abraham's blessings are mine. So secure your future so that you can secure your generation. Thank you.
That was such an amazing session with Ms. Olatoro. I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed yourself too. And I hope you were taking notes, because those are important conversations as a child, as a parent, as a guidance that you need. Remember that we are here every week. We have other videos on the platform. If you've not watched, go back and watch. If you've watched, go and rewatch them again. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you're yet to do so, and share with your friends and family. Let the gospel go round. Our teenage boys have to do better. They have to be the men that we'll be proud of in the next generation. This is Growing with Chris.
Growing with grace.